When love is not valued. Love. It is the one thing we all crave, the one gift that can make even the hardest life worth living. But what happens when love is given freely, yet never valued? This is the story of Emily and Michael, a story of devotion, betrayal, and the kind of regret that cuts deeper than any wound. A story that begins in the quiet suburbs of Chicago. Emily was the kind of woman neighbors admired. A graceful mother in her 40s, strong yet tender. She carried the weight of her family with quiet dignity. Each morning, she prepared breakfast for her 2 children, Ethan, 12, and Sophie, 9, carefully packing their lunchboxes before walking them to school. Michael, her husband, rarely joined. He was always rushing, always too busy with meetings, calls, deadlines. Emily told herself it was the pressure of providing for the family, but deep inside she knew Michael had stopped looking at her the way he once did. She remembered their younger days, how he used to hold her hand, whisper promises of forever. Now, his words were sharp, his tone dismissive. He no longer noticed her tired eyes, or the way her hands trembled after long days of work and chores. And yet, Emily never complained. She still smiled for the children, still placed Michael's dinner on the table, still whispered prayers at night, hoping maybe tomorrow he would love her again. But children, they notice things parents believe are hidden. Ethan flinched whenever his father raised his voice at Emily. Sophie asked why Daddy never came to her school plays. Emily had no answers, only silence, and a heavy heart that grew heavier each day. Side Michael was changing. Emily felt it in every silence, every cold glance. He came home later, spoke less, and when he did, it was usually in anger. Emily buried her pain. For the children, she smiled. For the neighbors, she pretended all was well. But inside, she knew she was losing him. One evening, as she folded laundry, Michael's phone buzzed. A message lit up the screen. "Can't wait to see you again tonight." Emily froze. Her heart hammered. Her hands shook so badly, the phone nearly slipped from her fingers. She wanted to believe it was a mistake, but deep down, she knew the truth. That night, Michael returned late. His shirt smelled faintly of jasmine, a perfume Emily never wore. She asked where he had been. He snapped, "Don't question me, Emily. I work hard to keep this house running. Maybe try appreciating me instead of nagging." Emily said nothing, but her silence was not ignorance anymore. It was survival. Days later, the truth arrived. Not from Michael, but from a friend who worked near his office. Her voice trembled when she called Emily. I don't know how to tell you this, but Michael has been seen with someone, a woman, young, beautiful. They looked more than colleagues." Emily's hands went cold. Her worst fear had a face now, voice heavy with betrayal. She confronted him. Tears welled in her eyes as she whispered, "Michael, who is she?" Michael didn't deny it. he didn't even flinch. Instead, he smirked. Her name is Rachel. She understands me in ways you never could. She's exciting, alive, not tired. But Michael's new life wasn't the fairy tale he imagined. Rachel was glamorous, yes, but her world was parties, late nights, endless demands. She wasn't interested in cooking meals, or caring for a sick husband, or listening to his worries. For Michael, it was thrilling at first, but soon, he noticed her phone buzzing with messages she quickly hid. He noticed the way she rolled her eyes when he spoke, the way she slipped away to meet friends and didn't return until dawn. The very betrayal he had inflicted was now circling back to him. Emily, meanwhile, found strength in her children. She was tired, yes. Broken, yes. But every day, she stitched her heart back together for Ethan and Sophie. She learned to smile again, to laugh again, even if her laughter carried the weight of sorrow. And when neighbors whispered, when pitying eyes followed her at the grocery store, she held her head high. Because Emily knew she had loved, she had given everything, and that was nothing to be ashamed of. But time has a cruel way of revealing truths, and soon, Michael would learn the cost of the choices he made. Years passed. Emily rebuilt a quiet life with Ethan and Sophie. Michael, however, had spiraled into a cage of his own making. Rachel, the woman he had abandoned everything for, was not the angel he believed. Behind her smile lurked greed, and behind her charm, deception. One night, Michael came home early. As he unlocked the door to their sleek apartment, he heard whispers inside. He froze. Rachel's voice, and another man's. "Don't worry," Rachel murmured. "Michael's too blind to suspect anything. Soon, he'll be out of the way, and everything he owns will be ours." The tension grew. Rachel stayed out longer. Money vanished from their accounts. Michael's health, once strong, began to decline. His chest ached. His breathing grew shallow. But Rachel barely noticed. At night, while he coughed alone in bed, she was out drinking and laughing with strangers. Michael realized the brutal truth. The woman he betrayed his family for would never care for him. Meanwhile, Emily's life blossomed in quiet resilience. Ethan earned a scholarship. Sophie grew into a compassionate young woman. They both adored their mother for her patience, her strength, her unshakable love. Emily never remarried. She poured her energy into raising her children and building a peaceful life. She no longer shed tears for Michael. He had chosen his path, and she had chosen survival. She worst. As a managed winter night, years later, Michael showed up at Emily's doorstep. His once strong frame had withered. His eyes carried exhaustion, regret, and desperation. When Emily opened the door, the sight of him nearly stole her breath. "Emily," his voice cracked, "I was wrong. About everything. Rachel, she used me. She never loved me. And now, I have nothing. Please, please forgive me. As said, Emily stared at him. Her heart clenched, not out of love, but out of pity. Behind her, Ethan stood tall, his jaw tight. Sophie's eyes filled with tears, but not for her father, for the pain her mother endured all those years. Emily finally spoke, her voice steady, carrying years of suppressed strength. Michael, forgiveness is not mine to give anymore. You chose your path. You abandoned us, and we learned to live without you. I won't open that wound again. Michael fell to his knees on the porch, sobbing. The snow fell around him, each flake dissolving on his trembling hands. Michael never recovered from that night on Emily's doorstep. He returned to his apartment, empty, cold, stripped of warmth. Rachel was gone for good. The walls echoed with silence, silence so loud it choked him. His health worsened. Doctor visits confirmed what he already feared. His body was failing. But the loneliness, that was the illness no medicine could cure. He tried calling Ethan. No answer. He tried reaching Sophie. His calls went straight to voicemail. For the first time in his life, Michael felt the full weight of abandonment. The same abandonment he once forced on Emily. Life had returned his sins to him, magnified. One rainy night, as thunder cracked outside, Michael sat with a whiskey glass in hand. His frail fingers trembled as he reached for his old phone, a device he hadn't touched in years. He scrolled through dusty old files and found them. Voice messages from Emily. His chest tightened. With shaking hands, he pressed play. Mike, an old recording. I don't know if you'll listen, but I'm sick. The doctors say it's serious. I wish you were here. Ethan asks about you every night. Sophie. She still waits at the door sometimes. Please, if you ever loved us, come home. Michael sick the phone. The room spun. He clutched his chest, sobbing, his tears mixing with the sound of rain against the glass. He had never heard these messages, and now it was too late. Emily had borne her pain alone. She had fought her illness, raised the children, and survived without him. And he had thrown away the chance to be there. The next day, driven by desperation, Michael decided to visit his children one last time. He dressed in an old coat, grabbed a walking cane, and set out under the gray sky. His journey was slow, heavy, like a man walking toward judgment. When he reached Emily's home, he didn't knock this time. Through the window, he saw them. Ethan, now a grown man, successful, respected. Sophie, radiant and kind, holding Emily's hand. They were laughing, united, strong, complete. Michael's eyes blurred with tears. He pressed his forehead against the cold glass. This was his family, and yet he was no longer part of it. He turned away, unable to face them. He walked back into the storm. Weeks later, Michael collapsed in his apartment, alone. The neighbors found him too late. His final moments were not of love, not of warmth, but of crushing silence, haunted by the echoes of a woman's voice he had ignored, children's faces he had abandoned. At his funeral, only a handful of people attended. Not Rachel, not friends, just a priest and a few distant relatives, Emily came, not out of love, but out of humanity. She stood with Ethan and Sophie, her face calm. She whispered a prayer, not for the man he had become, but for the man he once was, long ago, before betrayal stole him away. And when the casket was lowered into the earth, Emily turned to her children. "Remember this," she said softly. "When love is not valued, it dies. And when it dies, regret is all that remains. Cherish those who stand by you, because once they're gone, nothing can bring them back." The story of Michael and Emily was over, but its lesson remains timeless. Love is not endless. Patience is not infinite. When betrayed, even the kindest heart learns to walk away. And in the end, the one who took love for granted is always the one left alone. Don't miss more powerful life stories like this. Subscribe now and be part of our journey.